Imagine holding a small silver-colored coin in your hand. It may seem ordinary at first glance. Just 1 peso. Just metal. But what if I told you this coin carries the story of revolution, sacrifice, national identity, and the birth of a nation? Today, we dive deep into the history of the 1976 Philippines 1 peso coin featuring Dr. José Rizal, a coin that represents far more than money. It represents the soul of the Filipino people. Let's begin. The Philippines in the 1970s, a nation redefining itself. To understand this coin, we must first travel back to the 1970s. The Philippines was under the rule of President Ferdinand Marcos. Martial law had been declared in 1972. The country was experiencing political change, economic restructuring, and a renewed emphasis on national identity. Coinage was one of the tools used to shape that identity. In 1975, the Banco Central in Pilipinas introduced a new series of coins known as the Ang Bagong Lipunan series, which translates to the New Society. This was not just a monetary reform. It was symbolic, and at the center of the 1 peso coin stood a man whose words once shook an empire, Dr. José Rizal. Who was Dr. José Rizal? Before we talk about the coin, we must talk about the man. José Rizal was born on June 19, 1861, in Calamba, Laguna. He was not a general. He was not a soldier. He was not a politician. He was a writer, a doctor, a thinker, a reformist. But sometimes, the pen is more powerful than the sword. Under Spanish colonial rule, the Philippines suffered discrimination, inequality, and injustice. Rizal used his intelligence and education to fight oppression, not with weapons, but with ideas. His novels, Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, exposed corruption and abuse by Spanish authorities and friars. Those books ignited the spirit of revolution. Though Rizal did not directly support violent uprising, his writings inspired revolutionaries like Andrés Bonifacio, and for that, he paid the ultimate price. On December 30th, 1896, Rizal was executed by firing squad in Bagumbayan, now Luneta Park. He died at just 35 years old, but in death, he became immortal. Today, he is the national hero of the Philippines, and his face was chosen to appear on the 1 peso coin, the design of the 1976 1 peso coin. Now let's examine the coin itself. The 1976 Philippines 1 peso coin belongs to the Ang Bagong Lipunan series, introduced in 1975. Obverse, front. On the front, you will see a left-facing portrait of Dr. José Rizal. The inscription, Republica ng Pilipinas. The year of minting, such as 1976. Rizal's expression is calm, thoughtful, determined. It reflects intelligence and quiet strength. The design is simple but powerful. No dramatic pose. No weapons. Just the face of a thinker who changed history. Reverse, back. On the reverse side, the official seal of the Banco Central in Pilipinas during that period. It featured the central bank seal. The denomination, 1 peso. The seal represents authority, sovereignty, and economic independence. This design reminds citizens that currency is not just metal. It is a symbol of national stability. Metal composition and specifications. Let's talk about the physical characteristics, something collectors love. The 1976 1 peso coin was made of a copper-nickel composition, a silver-colored appearance, a diameter, approximately 29 millimeters, a smooth edge. It had a solid weight and presence, larger than many modern 1 peso coins today. When you held it, you felt value. This coin was built to last, much like Rizal's legacy. Why Rizal on the 1 peso? The 1 peso coin represents unity. It is the base of the Philippine currency system. Choosing Rizal for the 1 peso was not accidental. Rizal represents education, a reform, a peaceful resistance, a national identity. In a time when the country was redefining itself under martial law, placing Rizal on everyday currency reinforced patriotism. Every Filipino who spent 1 peso carried a reminder of their hero. It was subtle nation building. The Ang Bagong Lipunan symbolism. The 1976 coin series carried deeper political meaning. Ang Bagong Lipunan, or the new society, was Marcos's vision of reform and discipline. Coins became propaganda tools. They promoted a message of unity, modernization, and cultural pride. While politics surrounding that era remain debated, the coin itself remains a historical artifact of that time. It reflects how governments use currency not only for commerce but also for ideology, minting, and circulation. The 1976 Piso coins were minted in large quantities for circulation. They were everyday coins used for a transportation fares, a school canteen snacks, a small market purchases, a public telephone calls. For many Filipinos, this coin holds nostalgia. It reminds them of childhood, of jeepney rides, of sari-sari stores, of simpler times. Coins are not just metal. They carry memories, variations, and collector interest. Now let's talk about collectability. While the 1976 Piso coin is not extremely rare, condition matters. Coins in uncirculated condition, a mint state, MS60 and above, a proof-like finish, can command higher prices among collectors. There are also minor variations depending on minting quality and strike clarity. Collectors particularly value sharp details in Rizal's hair and facial features, clear lettering, and no scratches or corrosion. Because these coins were widely circulated, finding one in pristine condition can be challenging, and that increases value. Current market value. Now you might be wondering, how much is a 1976 Philippines Piso coin worth today? In circulated condition, it may range from $1 to $5 depending on condition. In uncirculated or mint condition, it can range from $10 to $30 or more. Proof versions or exceptional condition pieces may fetch higher prices in auctions. But remember, the real value is historical, not just monetary. The evolution of the Piso coin. The 1976 coin was part of a transitional era. Over the decades, the Philippines redesigned its currency multiple times. Later versions of the Piso coin would a shrink in size, a change metal composition, a feature updated Banco Central seals, introduce new security features. Yet Rizal remained. His portrait continued to appear in later coin series. Why? Because heroes do not expire. Comparing 1976 to modern Piso coins. If you compare the 1976 coin to today's Piso coin, the 1976 version is larger, it feels heavier, it has a more traditional coin presence. Modern coins are smaller, more cost-efficient, and designed for vending machines and automation. But many collectors prefer the older design. It feels classic. It feels important. The emotional value of historical coins. For collectors, especially those who focus on world coins like you do on your channel, coins like this are powerful storytelling tools. They connect a politics, a culture, a revolution, economics, a personal memory. The 1976 Piso coin is not just about Rizal. It's about a nation asserting identity. It's about leadership using symbols. It's about everyday people carrying history in their pockets. Counterfeits and authenticity. Because this coin is not extremely high value, counterfeits are rare. However, collectors should watch for altered dates, artificial toning, polished surfaces passed as mint condition. Always compare weight and diameter with official specifications. Serious collectors buy from reputable sellers or graded sources. Why this coin matters today. In today's digital world of online banking and contactless payments, physical coins are slowly disappearing. But historical coins like the 1976 Piso remind us of a time when currency was tangible, when heroes were honored daily in metal, when national identity was carried in pockets. This coin teaches us something powerful. Money tells stories. And sometimes, the smallest denomination carries the biggest legacy. The legacy of Rizal through coinage. Rizal's image on currency ensures that every generation remembers him. Children who ask, "Who is that man on the coin?" begin learning history. Coins become educational tools. And that may be the most powerful aspect of all. Final thoughts. The 1976 Philippines Piso coin featuring Dr. José Rizal is more than a collectible. It is. A symbol of reform. A reminder of sacrifice. A product of political history. A nostalgic artifact. A lesson in national identity. Next time you see one, don't just see metal. See a revolution without guns. See a rider who challenged an empire. See a nation remembering its hero. Because sometimes, history fits in the palm of your hand. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1976 Philippines 1 Piso coin, make sure to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which coin you want me to cover next. Until next time, keep collecting, keep discovering, and remember, every coin has a story.